of course, calling on women that are related to the sector, that are related to these issues, and that can bring contributions to how do we tackle this issue. The interesting thing is that Alessandra Sala, who is the co-chair of the Women for Ethical AI platform, and I'm also the co-chair, so we are both. She is the vice president of Shutterstock, and it's very interesting because whenever she says, I want to have unbiased data, and people say, that's very difficult because you know you go to internet and you browse the internet. It represents, thank you. It represents the world as we have it. So it's very difficult to try to really take away these things. But at the end, we cannot have a technological revolution that is just reproducing exponentially what we have in the real world. And I'm very happy to be accompanied by this wonderful gentleman, our regional director and our director from Gabon, because this is a battle for men and for women. So this is where we are. Thanks for coming. It's great to have you here. May I open the floor for comments, questions, objections that you may have to the point? But at the end, what we're really trying to do is to ensure that there is visibility to this issue. Whenever we talk about inclusive AI revolution, we should ensure at least that it is gender neutral, gender equitable, and that all people, including women for whatever purpose, are really able to take advantage of the technologies and be as represented, as active, as powerful with these technologies as they can be. So I don't know, Diane, if you want to comment on the report of Kenya on this matter.
Yeah, thank you. So just on the report, I think, like Gabriela said, one, yes, there are actually no women. According to the data that's available out there, there are no women that are working in AI. I mean, we're all here, but according to the data that's there, just going back to the issues of bias and all that, when you search for women in AI, there's no data on that. When you search for just the issues she was raising, women in AI development, then there's no that. There could be some women in research, but in development, design, and all that, there's no information on that. So the data that's there is women in ICT, the use of mobile phones, but then that also gets dropped when you go into the mobile user journey. So then there's obviously a growth in women accessing mobile phones, but as you go into that journey of how women use mobile phones and for what purpose, then that number really drops and it gets to more men than women. So I think it's going to be interesting, possibly, that we can start by identifying which women in the room work in AI and what you do, what challenges you have faced, and how you think we can navigate that or help each other around that. I think that's a great place to start from.
Yeah, maybe that's a good question. What do you encounter if you are related to these technologies? But I have to recognize and welcome, whenever you talk about gender equality, you cannot do it if you and women is not with you. That you can't. And therefore, Anna, please. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you very much for putting me on the spot. I came to learn today from the experts, but thank you for sharing and for that introduction and the additional information you have shared. I think for us as young women, and really thank you to the colleagues here from UNESCO that extended the invitation. I couldn't agree with you more on the issues that you raised. When we start with STEM, right? So our role as young women is to understand those socio-economic, cultural barriers that are preventing young women, young learners from entering into STEM subjects, right? From studying STEM subjects. And you nailed it. It's a lot of the upbringing, it's a lot of the socialization that these are subjects for men, and also the lack of role models. So for you who are in that sector, young learners need to see you more, right? They need to see you more so they see themselves in that sector as well. So as you rightly said, when you Google, then the images that come are of men and so on. So the idea then is that we need to promote learning between learners that are coming up from the tender ages, because that's where also decisions are made about what am I good at, what do I really like to do, and then connecting them with successful women in the sector. So the issue of representation is very important.